Aloha gang. Welcome back to Connect the Dots with Jenny. Thank you so much to all the new subscribers. Thank you very much to Brush Junkie, to Tracy. Thank you so much to all the followers that has joined me from Junkie's channel. I'm sorry, Tracy. Thank you so much. Aloha, nice to meet you. Today, I would like to speak about Stacey Moniz. Stacey Moniz is the chair of the Police Commission. I believe she terms out next year, March 31st, 2026. And ultimately, she is the ringleader of the Police Commission. Through my investigations, I have found that the Police Commission is nothing more than a club, a private club for John Pelletier to schmooze, and they rub and scratch each other's back, and they do not hold him accountable whatsoever. So what I'd like to talk about today is an old meeting. It's November 20th, 24. It's the Police Commission meeting, and it was Greyson Abarra, who owns Greytech LLC. They do post-mortem care with the morgue, and MPD, which is the Maui Police Department, contracted with them. Funny, after the Lahaina Wildfires, they were excused from their contract. Through my research, just because John Pelletier, he is not a man of good character. And so when he comes against or up to people who are honest, truthful, transparent, have integrity, accountable, people like that, he cuts ties with them because he knows he can't get something over on them. Okay. He's he's a master manipulator. Like, I've learned this, but I have people who have had to personally experience him tell me also. I have supporting evidence that he is a master manipulator, a master spinner. He's great at bringing things into the public opinion instead of, well, what is the policies about things? Okay. I'd like to discuss today is Stacey Moniz's behavior. I have a big issue with Stacey Moniz. I feel as chair, you have a duty, an ethical duty to the community that you serve, Stacey, to do what is right by the people. There has been formal complaints that has been brought to the Maui Police Commission, and yet you overlook them completely. And you always side with John Pelletier. That is not your job. It is, your position is not a position for public opinion. Your position as chair of the Maui Police Commission is to literally follow procedures, to know the protocols, to gather the data and evidence, and to carry that out and to hold the Maui Police Chief accountable. I've been told by so many reputable, respected, credible sources that the Maui Police Commission has wanted more control over the day-to-day operations of the Maui Police Department, which is why John Pelletier was brought into the Maui Police Department as the Maui Police Chief, because the prior chiefs would not do that. They wouldn't allow it. They wouldn't give you guys more control in the day-to-day operation. So this video is about Stacey Moniz, and ultimately Greyson Abarra owns Greytech LLC, and he went forward because he has a lawsuit because MPD excused his contract. I'm not for sure the legal term, and they owe him over $275,000. So let me give you the groundwork. Greyson is responsible for recovering the ashes, deceased bodies, and essentially identifying them, marking them, so that families can be notified. He went and testified to the police commission that he found mishandling, that he would alert the proper authorities, meaning MPD, meaning John Pelletier, and it would go unanswered and unnoticed. So here is a really sad, grim example. Is he said that there would be cell phones in body bags ringing. To him, he thinks that's a family member calling to find out how the family member is doing. And he alerted MPD, and they did nothing about it. So Stacey Moniz's line of questioning was like, essentially, like, what did she say? Let me read you the minutes. By the way, this video can be found on YouTube. I will provide it in the link, and it does have the transcript. So it's an hour and 53 minutes long. But if you go to minute 12:14, because what they're doing is they're trying to blame shift. So they're trying to, Stacey Moniz's line of questioning is not a line of question to inquire, to gather information. It is gathering information, but more in a way so that she can deflect, be defensive, so that she can spin it onto Greyson and not have John Pelletier accountable. Right here at minute 12:14, probably about informing the police department that cell phones are ringing in body bags to come and check to help identify, grab them, answer the calls, see whose families are trying to reach out. And then this is what Chair Moniz says, did anybody respond to collective? I don't know what that means. I don't know, but I made a mention of every little thing along the way. And didn't either of those cell phones call in body bags for families get a hold of their loved ones when unanswered? And she says, how do you know? How do you know that? She's asking him, how do you know that these cell phones are ringing? And he says, because I was there every single day. And she asks him several times, well, how do you know? Because he's like, I alerted the authorities, I alerted the proper channels, and nobody responded. And she says it many times during the video. She says, well, how do you know? And he says, because I was there every single day. The people of Lahaina, these families, these people, the Maui Police Commission is not doing their job. They're not holding the people accountable. This right here, Grace, nobody has better knowledge than the man who has to go and collect the ashes of these poor family members, these people in our community, in our Maui community. And he's coming to them, the oversight, and saying, look, I reported these things to John Pelletier and they slaughtered him. You guys have to watch this thing. All of them, not all. Hela Iwohi was trying to inquire. I believe that's Frank Tam was trying to inquire. Kikoa Mowat is a police commissioner. Sadly, he lost family members and homes, which is very sad. The whole Lahaina Wildfire was very tragic. Many people lost family members, friends, homes. It affected the whole Maui community. That's very sad and tragic. However, Kikoa Moat, during this interrogation, because that's essentially what this is, Greyson went to testify, and Janet Kuahara was a snide little witch. I don't like Janet Kuahara, and you have earned yourself your own video. I'm digging up on you too, Janet, but Janet and Stacey were very condescending to Greyson. And Greyson, I give him a lot of credit because it takes a lot of bravery and courage to go up and speak against the police chief to his oversight, who is in his back pocket. And he did it and he held his composure with grace, and he had a strong presence with very honest words and truthful. He was very honest and truthful. And then Frank DiRego, another police commissioner, says, well, I didn't see the email. And you watch his eye goes down, and it's like he's lying. Or it's not even like he's lying, because Greyson answers him and he says, well, it's confidential, the information I'm sharing, which makes sense to me. You know, you're dealing with recovering dead bodies. Yeah, I could see why he wasn't given an email, but just you guys watch it, and it's very shifty. Actually, you can't see Frank DiRego on here. He's at the very end. You can only see his right arm. I'll try to also post a link to the Allison Blair show, news story too, where you can see them, their eyes. Or maybe I'll just post it on top of here. But anyways, getting back to Stacey Moniz, Janet Kuahara, Frank DiRego, they weren't going in there with ears to try to understand and gain greater knowledge on how we can properly serve. They went in defensively to just automatically try to cut Greyson down. there are people that were there that I know personally that stayed the whole time and witnessed it. And they said it was a slaughter. They weren't even really trying to listen to Greyson's side, because Greyson also called for the chief of police, John Pelletier, to be removed. Anyways, going back, I don't think I finished. Kwekwa Moat got extremely theatrical, yelling and screaming at Greyson, which to me, that is not the proper place to do that. You're in a professional setting. If you're upset, excuse yourself, go behind, compose yourself, come back. But his behavior is unacceptable. He's yelling and screaming. He says, what kind of protocol is there for when 100 people die? Yes, the event was tragic, but Greyson answers, he goes, there is protocol. Of course Greyson would say that, because that is his expertise. That is what he's been doing for the past 12 years for Maui Police Department, MPD, and other businesses, the community as a whole, not just MPD. This meeting was atrocious. It was a slaughterhouse for Greyson. I give him so much credit. Going back to Stacey Moniz, her lines of questioning is very deflective, dismissive. It's all to shift blame onto Greyson. None of it was at all to hold John Pelletier accountable. So she also says that she's questioning him. She says, let me remind all of you that we hold a voluntary position. So they don't get paid as police commissioners. They are volunteering their time. So she says, we're volunteering our time to come in. Hold on, let me read exactly what she said. Oh no, where's my notes? I'm sorry. Blah, blah, blah. Oh man, I'm sorry. Anyway, she says that they're volunteering, that they're targets by becoming a police commissioner. And so like, they're just there graciously. Well, give up your seat then, Stacey. There's a team of the Lāhui. Lāhui, you guys, is like the Hawaiian community. So just the community in general. There's a team of the Lāhui who will happily volunteer their time to be objective, neutral police commissioners who will listen and put the community's needs first. When you say condescending things like that you're giving up your time, you're volunteering to be here, don't threaten us with that. Give your seat up and give it to one of us. Give it to someone else. I'm actually not me, but the Lāhui. Give it to someone else who will be truthful, transparent. You guys are not transparent. I've read your minutes. You are the farthest thing from transparent. Give up your seat so that someone who is transparent, who does have integrity, who will be objective, neutral, who will collect data and facts over feelings, not public opinions, so that they can do what's just for the Lāhui and for the community of Maui. She mentions in there that because at the end of Greyson's testimony, he calls for John Pelletier to be removed. And she says, that's very strong words. So if you're going to claim that, you need to be transparent and you need to tell us. Because what he said was, there was a certain line of questioning and he said, I cannot speak to that because they're in litigation. He has a lawsuit. She goes, basically, she's like, I'm being transparent with you. Why can't you be transparent with me? And my problem with that is he had already provided a lot of evidence to her and already told her, I did this, 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 and this. These are the examples of how I reached out to proper authorities and I didn't get a response back, And she didn't want to go and dissect any of those things, but she wanted to harp on this one point where he was like, oh, well, where he said he couldn't talk because of litigation. And to me, it's just, that's her just being manipulative and gaslighting him. It was disgusting to watch. It's a shame that you guys are the oversight committee, that you guys represent Maui. I call that you step down and allow someone who does have proper ability to oversight take your seat. Sadly, she was voted in as to remain as chair of the police commission. But thank God your term is over next year. I can't wait. Thank you so much for tuning in, you guys. I'll catch you guys next time. Aloha.